Hi there everyone, it's Rebecca here on a very, very blustery Tuesday afternoon here in South Wales. We've got the big storm coming in and I'm up in the loft space of my house and I'm actually not sure. Well, of course the roof is going to stay on, but it feels it's gusting every now and again. So how are you all this week? Can't believe we're already into the third week now of January. It's kind of crazy, really. Anyway, I've been reading a new book, which by an author called Kyle Cease. I'll post a link to his website below this, or actually maybe his YouTube channel, because I think that's absolutely brilliant. And the book has got nothing to do with eating disorders or recovery or anything like that, but he speaks some truths that actually resonate totally with me. And actually, I see that what he says applies to whatever we're going through. And there was a quote that I put onto Instagram a couple of days ago, which was something that I'd seen in one of his books. And I just want to read it out to you here because I think it's so powerful. If you experience uncomfortable moments, know that they are growing pains that will lead to a more expanded and freer you. And I love that. I used to suffer with growing pains as a child, and I know how painful they can be. I've suffered with them right through until I was probably about 20, actually. They would literally, my legs wouldn't be able to hold my weight because the pain was so bad. And I remember my mum and dad having to literally walk me around the house to try and ease the pain. And I think that one of the things that we shy away from is feeling things. We're scared of feeling things. And what I've written as the title to this video is that we can't fix a feeling. But that's what we're all trying to do throughout life. And until we see that we can't do that, the only thing we can do is to feel it, then really we're just going to be stuck on that loop of going round and around. So what do I mean by that? Well, we're kind of led to believe in life that we've got to aim for happiness. That's the goal, is to be happy, this permanent state of nirvana where everything's going to be wonderful. But actually, logically and realistically, we know that's never going to be possible because there are always going to be things that come up in life that make us sad, that when we grieve, when we have arguments with people, all sorts of things. Our emotions are literally up and down, up and down. It's kind of like a roller coaster, really. And we've come to expect that the positive ones are the ones that we're aiming for, the ones that we've got to work on, and those are the ones we want to keep. And yet the negative, well, what we view, you see, even that word negative, is something that pops straight out of my mouth, but actually it's not that, is it? The maybe the feelings that feel a bit more unpleasant, the ones that actually cause us to have a very different sensation in our body, they're the ones that we think those are the ones that we want to avoid. Okay, because it comes up in a pain, doesn't it? Now, it could be that you're struggling yourself with an eating disorder and you have lots of thinking around food and how you're feeling and weight and all things like that. And you get a real physical sense in your body when you think about that. You could be caring for somebody you love, and you could have, and I certainly remember when I was caring for B, that I would have so many different feelings really rushing through my body, and there'd be ones I really didn't want to feel. The ones where I was frightened, the ones where I was probably angry as well. And what we're going through life, and this isn't anything new that I'm saying here. We go through life trying to numb those feelings. We want them to go away. We'll do anything not to experience those feelings. And the problem is that we can't ever do that. The only thing we can do is to feel the feeling. And this is why I love what Kyle Cease says in this quote that I've just read out, is when we have those uncomfortable feelings, that instead of shunning them, instead of trying not to feel them, is actually to know that they're there to serve a purpose. And that is to show us that we're growing, that we're leaning into these, that actually that's maybe the right way to go, certainly if we're if we're struggling here with an eating disorder. So what if you could see that? What if you could recognize in yourself that that discomfort is actually telling you something, that it's a growing pain, that is eventually going to lead to freedom for you, because that's what we're looking for here, aren't we? Not to be tied into this, not to live our life experiencing this eating disorder all the time. You know, and B and I talk about our absolute certainty that recovery is possible for every single person. Okay, every single one, because we've seen it. We've seen it and we know it. That it's the eating disorder is a coping strategy. It's a behavior that we've kind of got into the habit of doing, because in a way it's the control around not wanting to feel something. Now, you might not even know what that is that you're not trying not to feel. And in a way that doesn't matter. But if you could just this week see that there's the growing pain is something that we need to go through, you know, it's not going to hurt you, okay? The growing pain isn't going to hurt you. And if you think about it, like when, you know, my dad would massage my legs, my knees, it was always around my knees, and he would help with my mum walk it out, if you like, that growing pain until it eased. So think of, you know, and this isn't, I'm not suggesting any strategies here at all, but it's knowing that just when you get a glimpse that the discomfort that you feel is actually this growing pain, and what might be helpful to do to accept and to embrace the growing pain as part of the journey to recovery. I'd love to know your thoughts on that, so don't hesitate to come back to me, leave a message below, and I will leave a link to Kyle Cease's YouTube channel in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. So bye for now.